Okay, I'm going to show you a very easy bind-off method. And the first thing you need to know about binding off with this usual method is that it's best to use a larger needle for the bind-off. So if you have a needle tip that happens to be bigger, you can use that. If you don't have a bigger needle, then you need to be aware of knitting more loosely than you normally do. Because this bind-off tends to be a little tight, and if you use the same size needle or you don't knit loosely enough, your bind-off edge is going to pucker in and not look so good. Okay, so assuming that you don't have a larger needle than a size 15 that you're using now, I'm going to just use the needle that you're using and knit a little bit more loosely than normal. So what that means is, so you create your stitch and just make sure you can pull on it a little bit, that the stitch has a lot of slack. And so we're going to knit 2 stitches to begin with, and there should be a good amount of slack in these stitches, so that now when you go to put your needle into the first stitch to pull it over, it goes very easily. It's not too tight. Okay, and then you're left with 1 stitch because you've just bound off 1 stitch. Okay, so that's the usual method, and you can continue doing it that way. That's the way that you did it last time. You knit 1 stitch, and you put your needle in from left to right to the first stitch and pull it over the other stitch and off the needle. So you have 1 left. So that's, that's the conventional way to do it, and you can continue doing that, but here's an even easier way. So you knit your 1 stitch. Now instead of using your needle to pull the first stitch over, you can just really do it with your fingers. Just grab it, pull it out a little bit, and over. Very simple. Knit the stitch, grab that first stitch, pull it over and off. Alright, so continue doing this across the row, pulling it over. Make sure that I'm knitting loosely. And I can pull this out a little bit so you can really see the stitches on the needle are quite loose. And then it should be very easy to pull it over. Alright, I'm just going to finish the row, pull it over. I'm knitting English style, which is slow for me, so here we go. 1 more stitch. And pull that last stitch over. Okay, so now we're left with 1 stitch on the needle. You're going to just pull that out to make sure it doesn't come out and release it from the needle. Okay, then you're going to cut your yarn. You're going to give yourself enough room so that you can weave in the ends. Cut it about 6 or 8 or 10 inches out. And now we're going to go back to that big loop we have, and now we can just pull on it completely out. See? So you have 1 strand. This stitch here is always going to be a little floppy. That's just how it is. And that will get fixed when you weave this. You're going to have to weave the end in anyway. So that will settle down once we weave this end in. And you're going to end up with a nice bound off edge here. And you'll see that it's just stretchy enough. If you want to check it while you're doing it every few inches, just to make sure that you didn't do it too tight. So it's looking good. That's it.